Sorry to hear that Moses Malone died. Died 60 years old. Died in his sleep. I always wonder about dying in your sleep. You know, I was talking about that with my sister earlier today. I wonder if it's painful. She was saying, well, I want to die in my sleep. But how do you know that it's not painful, dying in your sleep? I mean, all your organs are actually shutting down. Your organs are shutting down, your heart is stopping, and then you're gone. So I don't know if that's supposed to not be painful. I mean, is it like having a heart attack in your sleep and you can't wake up? One thing about it, nobody knows. Nobody's ever come back to tell us anything about being dead, who's there, who you're seeing, how it was, or anything. But one thing for sure, we can't get out of this life alive. So it's important that you make the best of every single day that you're here. Be thankful. I'm thankful. I got some really good juicy stories about Moses Malone from me and my sister. We did some pranks on him one time. But I have to tell you about that another time. I have to wait till everybody's dead. You know, it's like the JFK scenario, Files. Nobody will ever know what really happened until 100 years from now. So I'll leave that information, and then 100 years from now, somebody else can read it and tell you what kind of pranks we pulled on Moses Malone. But he was funny. He had the funny voice, all the money in the world, and he talked like this. That's how he talked. He never did get an education where he sounded like he had one anyway. He went to college in Houston. He did have an education. Well, anyway, rest in peace, Moses Malone. He left very, very young, very early, and it's tragedy always. So Mayweather and Berto. Did anybody pay for any of that on pay-per-view? I don't think so. Because everything that I researched, they were trying to give tickets away in Las Vegas. That the $1,000 seat tickets were like, nobody was buying them. That hardly nobody was going. I mean, if you just happened to be in Vegas, you know, and you could get a seat cheap, then, you know, somebody might have went. But they were saying nobody was going, nobody cared. As a matter of fact, I actually forgot about it, and I looked at the date today, and I'm like, oh shit, it's the 14th. Let me see who won. I had not even thought about him anymore. Of course he won. They went through all the rounds. He won, and Mayweather said that he has now retired undefeated. Okay, now the Republican debate is coming up. You got your nutcase Trump, who's leading. Trump is 43% ahead. Carson, that's the black fool Republican, 20%. And then you got Jeb Bush, 8%. Jeb Bush and Carson are like so far behind, it's ridiculous. And Clinton, she's actually going down at 46% now. She was at 50% likability, and she's going down as well. Now, the guy that I was thinking about, who everybody was talking about, Bernie Sanders, I believe is his name, and people are saying that he's a Democrat that you may want to vote for. I don't really know too much about him, so I'm still not, I'm really not even interested in him, to tell you the truth. I'm not interested in none of them. And to show you how the world is today, that people are actually for Donald Trump, where does he know anything about foreign policy? What does he know about wars? What does he know about going and speaking to people in third world countries? What has he done for the world besides for himself and the Trump organization? I mean, come on. It's absolutely ridiculous. This shows that the world is just gone down the dumpster, where people are just excited about somebody who just rants and raves and talks stupidly and is not afraid to say what he wants to say, because the world has turned into such a politically correct world that you can't say anything. And Donald is heroic enough to do that, but that's the only reason you want to vote for him. I mean, I can't wait to see this debate. They said that the tickets are going so fast for the Republican debate that this has never happened before, and they're probably going to have more viewers than than they've ever had before on television. They said people were actually scalping tickets for the Republican debate just to see Donald Trump. Trump's, he's pulling so high ahead, it's just ridiculous, and I don't understand, but this is the world that we're living in. Okay, Viveca Fox, my girl, is going to be playing Cookie's older sister on season 2. So Tasha Smith, she's, of course, you know, she plays Cookie's sister, and then, so it's going to be Tasha Smith, Taraji P. Henson, and Viveca Fox. Now that's really good. I'm going to enjoy that. So Empire is coming back very soon. I gotta get this hair out my mouth. The wind is blowing nicely. We have such a nice breeze going on. So that's going to be good on season 2. And Vanessa Williams finally got the apology that she should have gotten all this time. You know, they took the crown from her from the USA Miss America pageant in 1984 or 86. They took the crown from her because she had done some pictures holding on to women in one of those Playgirl magazines, and so they took her title, stripped her of her title, and now, all these years later, the pageant actually, officials apologized to her last night at the pageant. So I'm glad to hear that at least there was an apology. And Wendy Williams, she's back on television now. You know, this is the new season for all the shows now because now the fall is coming in. So you got some new things coming up. Wendy Williams, I saw her today, and she was saying how her son Kevin Jr. had got hooked on these e-weed cigarettes. They have the, you know, the e-cigarettes where there's no, you can buy them at the stores, at any of like CVS, Walmart, those kind of places, and you can smoke it, and they don't have no smell, and the actual fire from it, the smoke from it, you don't smell anything or really see anything. So a lot of people were smoking them in places where you couldn't smoke. And it turned out though, the e-cigarettes, they were saying that those people that were smoking those, they were more dangerous than actual real cigarettes. And I mean, you don't even know what chemicals that you're inhaling anyway. Well, now they have the weed e-cigarettes, where it's weed or it's the THC components in it. And they sell them in places, even Atlanta has them now, I heard. So Kevin Jr., Wendy Williams' son, I heard was hooked on them. And she actually brought it up on her new season of the show today and talked about it and said she got her son help. But so a lot of people who, if you don't know, make sure you check your children's bags or the teenagers' bags or their drawers or whatever, and make sure that they don't have those e-weed cigarettes. You don't know what chemicals that the THC is supposed to be in there along with it. You know, so you don't know what harmful effects will happen in the end because it is smokeless, odorless. So you'd have to just snoop around and find out what your children are doing. My mother used to snoop all the time and go through all my stuff because she said it was her stuff. I didn't pay for anything. So you have to do the same. You have to stay on top of your children nowadays because there are so many different things that are going on in this world, including, you know, it's bad enough with the internet, where you have internet predators, internet perverts, and pedophiles. So, you know, you got to stay up on your children nowadays, and your teenagers and preteens, and just make sure that nobody is taking advantage of them. So make sure you find out about those cigarettes and keep an eye on them. And the weed e-cigarettes. Okay, you guys, I just wanted to say hi and everything, and I haven't talked to you, but I'll talk to you again tomorrow, I promise. And I hope you have a wonderful Monday evening.